boss told me to gain some perspective, so I did and found a new job. I worked as a systems administrator for an IT firm. I got tired of dealing with abusive and angry clients for 5 years. I got tired of being micromanaged and being exploited. I got tired of being talked down to like I was a child anytime the slightest little mistake was made. When my boss learned I was no longer going to work in another market 3 days a week like I originally planned, and he had no one else, because no one wanted to deal with the jerks in that market, he spent an hour lecturing me on taking a long hard look at myself. He said that he was concerned about my reliability after refusing to spend 3 hours a day commuting to the other market on top of my workday. If I can't rely on you to work in the other market, then I just don't know if you have much a future with this company. I think you need to take a long hard look at yourself and gain some perspective. You know what? You are absolutely right. 2 weeks later, I found a new job and gave my notice. He begged me to stay, offered me more money, etc. This went on for days. I said, no thanks. I finally found that perspective you wanted me to find. Boy, am I glad I did. A new job with a raise and benefits. And no stress. The only advice you've ever given me of value. Good luck to you. Quote, he let me go a week into my notice. Started the new job. Love my new boss and my coworkers. It's been over a year later. The former boss hired 6 different people to fill my spot. Each lasted 12 months before they left. Wonder why that is. Maybe he needs to gain some perspective on how to run a company and treat people. Every time I peruse Craigslist for jobs, I see the same ad for the same job where I worked for 3 weeks. 12 years ago? Good on you. I always love when they toss money at you as if that's the problem. My husband got an 83% raise 1 year. Over the course of the year. Because they were terrified he would leave like everyone else. He left 3 months later and I was watching the Zoom call when he told his boss. The color literally drained from his face. Excellent job. Good for you. I once worked for a company that was bringing everyone into the 20th century by taking out all the dumb terminals and putting a PC on everyone's desk. Also, we were setting up LANs and WANs and moving to the Microsoft suite of Office products. It was a huge undertaking, but really needed. Owners told our sole network admin to do all this himself. He argued. They refused to believe he couldn't do it himself. He argued some more. They refused to budge. So, he quit, moved to Texas to be closer to his daughter and new grandbaby. The company had already started the process. They hired a consulting firm. Huge dollar, who sent a team of people. 2 guys who spent all their time in the server room. 1 supervisor for the whole project. I got 2 techs assigned to me. Help desk manager. And then had a 3rd guy who just did hardware and software setups. Things went pretty smoothly. The old guy came back, I think to sell his house. After about 6 months and visited the office. He was greeted with smiles and hugs. The supervisor of the consulting firm told him I was there, that they had to bring in 3 people to replace him, and that he had nothing to be worried about or ashamed of. He had made the right choice. I thought that was very classy of her to say that to his face. He was super happy to be by his daughter and grandbaby. The entire company got updated and upgraded. And I stayed there 11 years. People don't quit jobs, they quit lousy managers. If everybody has problems working for that guy, maybe the problem is not everybody. I should also note, what I found amusing was that one of the guys he hired kept disappearing at clients. And one day didn't show up at a client for several hours. When questioned, he said he got lost. On his last day, They found him passed out in his car with drug paraphernalia around him. The pool for new hires must be grim if you are going to hire that type of person. Lol. I once had a girlfriend who said we couldn't get married unless I became a Christian too. She suggested I have a conversation with her priest, so I did. We spoke for about 2 hours. Girlfriend: how'd it go? Quote: me. He convinced me that you and I should not be dating. Girlfriend: what the F? Quote: that was like 20 years ago. Still friends. It's been over a year later. The former boss hired 6 different people to fill my spot. Each lasted 12 months before they left. Wonder why that is. Maybe he needs to gain some perspective on how to run a company and treat people. I guarantee he hasn't learned a thing. He's probably joined the no one wants to work anymore crowd and is blaming that for his problems. All to rationalize his awful management style. He thinks he is the victim. People like this never change. My ex-boss recently gave me the "change starts with you" speech. I applied for another job while on my lunch break that day. They emailed me the next day, interviewed me and hired me within a week. I start soon, and will be making more money with half the commute. Ex-boss gave me the surprised Pikachu face when I handed him my notice. Guess someone should have given him the "people don't quit their job, they quit their manager" speech. This is the MCI feast on. All power to you. I'd love to have seen him beg. I want it made into a dramatization. The goddess of perspective should not be summoned in vain. I have a personal rule. Never accept a counteroffer. From the old employer's perspective, that counteroffer is prepaying 3 to 5 years of raises, which means you're not going to get another dime out of them for a very long time. From the new employer's perspective, your starting salary is just a start to test you out. Once they see how good you are, you can usually expect a raise to what they can actually afford. 2 things to keep employees. 1. Don't be a dick. 2. See Rule 1. I love hearing the ones where multiple people are needed to the job one person used to do happen. With me, my work was divided 3 ways, lol. A lot of the people that tell you to gain perspective are the ones that are completely devoid of it. I had a boss one time tell me life is too short to stay in a job I hate. When I resigned, I told him I'm taking his advice and putting in my notice. His face was priceless. Good for you. Had a similar experience myself. You don't know how good you've got it, he said, when I was rejected for a pay rise from minimum wage to something more realistic. I've been gone from there for 5 years. Their website domain expires next Thursday. At one of my old job during a meeting, my manager called me garbage and stupid for continuing to chase my dream of being a designer in front of others, and that I should give up on my dream and go back to being full-time at the company. I was full-time, quit to take classes, came back as a part-timer while I searched for a job and work on my portfolio for about 2 years. Couple months later, I got a contract job as a designer at a well-known pharmaceutical company. Luckily, I landed the job about a month before the pandemic hit hard and everyone was told to work from home. At the old job, I wouldn't have been able to work from home. I worked in the field, traveling around my big city to visit clients' sites. I think you need to take a long hard look at yourself and gain some perspective. Okay, surprised Pikachu face. I can see clearly now, the pain is gone. I can say old bosticles, go away.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. BeeeRick is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.